what?
Hello and welcome to the Popcorn List pop-up series. Today we're screening ASHIMA. I'm Crystal Merrill, Festival Director at Mountainfilm, and I'm honored to have recommended ASHIMA for the Popcorn List. Mountainfilm screened ASHIMA in the 2024 lineup in Telluride, Colorado. The Popcorn List is an annual selection of acclaimed indie and documentary films recommended by festival programmers. These are films that have been celebrated at festivals around the world but aren't yet available in wide release, so the pop-up series brings them to you first. I'm excited to introduce Minji Chang, producer of Ashima, who's with us today. Welcome, Minji.
As Crystal mentioned, I'm Minji Chang. I'm the producer of ASHIMA. Speaking on behalf of Kenji Tsukamoto, who is the director and said that he can't be here to speak with all of you, but we're so honored and excited to be part of this. So thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Minji. It was such a delight to have you, Kenji, Ashima, and her family with us at the Mountain Film Festival in Telluride a couple years ago, and it's so nice to see you again.
So good to see you too. Honestly, I want to speak to the high heavens how much we love Mountain Film Festival. I hope everyone goes and checks out that festival because it was one of our favorite experiences. And we got to go to a lot, thankfully, but it really stands out as one of our favorite festival experiences.
Thank you. To start us off, I'd like to ask you a few questions. So first, in the climbing film genre, Ashima really stands out, especially for its beautiful cinematography. Can you share a bit about the process of making this film?
I actually came on as a producer after the film had already been filmed. And so I have to sing Kenji's praises because he was really the generator of this whole project existing because he had gone to film school and done a short documentary, which won a regional Emmy. And he was working for Jimmy Chin back in the day. And they had recommended that if he was interested in Japanese American stories, that there's this amazing climber to find out more about. And so he looked into Ashima, was like intrigued by her story. He took that initiative and just like reached out to her through the white pages or the yellow pages or the old school analog days. And yeah, just reached out to her family and met with her parents because she was a young child at the time, but already like well into her climbing career. So it was just such an instantaneous bond. From what I understand, Ashima and Kenji both being Japanese American, having immigrant parents, having to navigate different identities, language issues, they had an instant bond, and the parents really, everyone kind of trusted each other and created this safe space where Kenji could endeavor filming their life. And I think it's so beautiful because documentaries are that safe space and it is hard for people to be really authentic on camera. And I think because Kenji put so much care into building that relationship of one of genuine trust and respect, that the family was that welcoming and allowing him to get access to this beautiful, very like mysterious life because no one gets to understand the true life of at home and not just the training and just the climbing and all the things that get kind of put in magazines and on YouTube and all that stuff. So the project was, yeah, it was a really big labor of love, and Kenji was the only person filming everything, which is also a nod to his cinematography. It's that's what got me in. I was like, I saw the little snippets and I was like, what is this? How can I be part of it?
Okay, so Minji, can you tell us about what the process was like to produce this film? And tell us a bit more about your role in taking the film to the next step through festivals and beyond.
I learned so much. This is the first feature film that I've ever produced. And so I have a long history of doing like live events and working for Asian American representation in film and media. So I'm used to producing things or like taking things from idea to reality, I guess, in the 3D world. But this was like it was a new journey for me, a new experience. But I felt so connected to the story and so passionate about its need to be in front of an audience. So when I joined, Kenji and I actually met at Sundance Film Festival, and it was my first time there, and he had been going for several years. So it was really cool to just see that there was this space for indie filmmakers and just to dive right into it and just be brave and kind of see what we could do. And so producing it was very daunting. It was a little overwhelming at times because I didn't know what I was doing and I was trying to learn in real time. It's like building a car as it's moving. But I came in when we were still like the footage was not even really assembled, and going from hundreds of hours of footage into like a final cut, something that can get anybody to invest or donate or back the project financially so that we can get any kind of resource to get it across the finish line. It was quite a feat. It was a series of miracles and goodwill and earnest, hard work. We had to just be incredibly patient, I think, around expectations. We wanted, the best editors, but editors cost money and they're also in demand for other projects. So it was just like this piecemeal thing that we had to get, releases signed and figure out voiceover and figure out how to craft a story out of, again, hundreds of hours of amazing footage. And then you're trying to say, have to kill your darlings. That's a lot of darlings to kill, which is a terrible metaphor, but it was really challenging and quite, there are a lot of moments of defeat, to be honest, feeling like we came this far, but we're at this impasse where we're just like, we don't have enough money to, if we get an editor and they happen to be available, if that miracle happens, then we still have to score it and we still have to color correct it and we got to subtitle it. And so it was such, I feel like it was RV14. And when you watch this, I hope that you get that. Everyone will understand by the end of the movie. But it was really challenging, but also I think for people who love film and who are passionate about storytelling, that challenge is kind of like its own reward. Like it feeds you in a way. And I think for indie filmmakers, you got to have that grit, and you also kind of got to be delusional just to be like, we can finish this no matter what, it will be done. And we're so fortunate because we had some of the best people in the game, like across the board, from people who watch cuts of it and who colored it and scored it. And we had some of the most amazing folks come on board because they believed in the story, they believe in Ashima, they're inspired by who she is, what she does. And so as a producer, I mean, I frankly, I don't know how it kind of all happened. But I do think that it was just a mix of patience and determination, some tenacity, and some surrender of miracle. And we're here and lucky enough to share it with the world. So
Love that. All right. And most importantly, what's your favorite kind of popcorn?
I started movies with like E.T. back in the day, and like it is forever in my heart to have that classic popcorn with a little bit of that butter, and I'm good.
A big thank you to you, Minji, for joining us, to the Popcorn List for having us here, and to all of you for showing up and continuing to support documentary and indie films. Make sure to catch all 8 films in the Popcorn List pop-up series in theaters and online throughout the month, and follow the Popcorn List for updates on films, screenings, and more. Enjoy the show.